Hello, good afternoon. All of you. I posted a podcast last week and I told you guys that I'm going to delve into this one, which I would like to term the Medicine Man podcast. And the reason why this one came about is because I see, as I've mentioned in the previous podcast, I see so many people coming into the pharmacy spending huge amounts of monies and things that they probably don't even need when it comes to the fight of the coronavirus. In particular, I'm talking about today, I would like to focus on stuff like your immune boosters and those things. So let's get straight into it. As far as immune boosters go, and I'm mentioning names, I told you in the previous episode, I do not necessarily want to mention any names, but I'm going to, for clarity's sake, and just to simplify everything, I'm going to mention a few names. I would like to just make mention that in no way am I mentioning these names to favor a product or to discriminate against any particular product. The reason why I'm mentioning names is simply because you guys out there, you go to the places, you go to the stores, you see your friends use it, you are familiar with these items, and it just makes it so much easier and it simplifies this whole topic. The first thing that I saw that people come in for, they would like, for example, want the Everflu-C immune booster. Now you get two Everflu-Cs. One is behind the counter in the pharmacy, in the dispensary. The other one is off the shelf. Now the popular one would actually be the one that's off the shelf. It's the orange box. It is an immune booster. It has about 3 active ingredients, which is your echinacea, the zinc, and the vitamin C. Now, that on its own is perfect. I'll be honest with you, personally, it is something that I'm using on a daily basis. I use it because of the concentration of the items they're in. The zinc, you get like 5 or 10 milligram. The vitamin C, you get 1,000 milligram, and that is definitely the daily recommended use. So that 1,000 milligram is more than enough. It becomes a problem when the patient wants both the Everflu-C immune booster, and added to that they want additional items like more vitamin C or more zinc. And that is where you're really wasting your money, and this is why I'm addressing this. You don't need additional vitamin C if you've got the Everflu-C immune booster, and you don't need an additional, for example, Zimplex or more of the Vital Zinc complex, because Everflu-C already has the vitamin C in it. It already has the zinc in it. Other immune boosters that I saw that is very popular is like your Airborne and your Immune. It has all the building blocks for a good immune booster. So if you have that, any of those, you don't need the other. So for what I'm saying is you don't need Airborne with Immune or Everflu-C with Airborne, because either way, one or the other is good enough. Both of them serves as immune boosters. Other pictures that I saw doing the rounds in these many Facebook groups or WhatsApp messages that goes through is the addition of Disprin. Now, on my last episode, I told you that I wasn't at my normal location. I actually went to my doctor, my GP, because I wasn't feeling too well. It had nothing to do with COVID, just so by the way. I wasn't feeling well, and I went there, and as I normally do, I would chat to my doctor. And my concern was that so many people nowadays wants to get the Disprin, which is an anti-inflammatory. It helps with pain and those kind of things. So I chatted with him, and he said no, he strongly believes in the addition of the Disprin for COVID patients, because simply put, when you're sick, when you're down and out, and you can ask any person who suffered from COVID-19 and has recovered, your body is in tremendous aches and pains. So the Disprin would help there. The other part of the Disprin where it would help is just to get the blood in your body circulating optimally, so you don't sit there with those blood clots. I've had a patient's daughter who came in today. He luckily has recovered. He's been discharged. He's at home, but now he's got all these blood clots. Now in hospital, they've got specialized injections which they inject the patient with, like your Clexane, for example. But at home, if you're recovering at home, I would strongly suggest the use of your Disprin. That would be either the Disprin Cardio or any basic aspirin. 100 milligram should suffice. A lot of people I've noticed goes for that 500 milligram strength, which is a bit harsh if you ask me, but nevertheless, if that is what you're able to get your hands on, yes, I would agree with the doctor. Use that Disprin on a daily basis. The other thing with regards to painkillers, if you've got your Disprin, that's fine. If you're unable to find it, as at this time that we're in, where it's always out of stock, I would suggest you to maybe use general paracetamol. Now, I've seen a picture doing the round where the person had a picture with both the original branded Panado and the paracetamol generic, which is in that case was the pain block. You get it in like a tub of 100 tablets for just over 30 rand, about maximum 35 rand. The problem there is you don't need Disprin along with the pain block. The active ingredient is the exact same. You can just choose which one you want to go with. If you want to spend 100 rand on 100 tablets of the original Panado, do that. If you want to spend 35 rand on 100 pain block, do that, whichever suits your pocket. But you definitely don't need the two together. As far as other supplements goes, yes, you can go with the vitamin D, because studies have shown that people who suffers from COVID-19 has a lack of the vitamin D in their systems, in their bodies. So yeah, get the vitamin D. In addition to that, I would just say continue using your normal daily multivitamin. So yes, a multivitamin would do exactly as it says. It is a host of vitamins and minerals within the tablet or capsule, but the concentration of the items are generally a lot less. For example, your vitamin C might average at about 60 milligram, so therefore the vitamin C in the Everflow C, which is 1000 milligram, comes to play. A multivitamin, a good multivitamin that is, would probably also contain some zinc, but once again the concentration thereof is it's very little. It's in minute quantities or minute concentrations. So if you're feeling down, if you're going to use those immune boosters, you can use it in combination with your daily multivitamin. It shouldn't be a problem, because that's what I'm using. I'll make an example again, and this is my go-to multivitamin. I wouldn't say that anybody can take it. The one active ingredient in there is ginseng. The ginseng, I'd like to call it, is the agent that gives you basically the gat onder die skop onder die gat to get you going, you understand? And if you're hypertensive, if you're a blood pressure sufferer or suffer from blood pressure, high blood pressure that is, then you should not be taking anything that contains ginseng. A lot of companies nowadays comes out with it. With the ginseng, for example, the Cipla, no, it's the Centrum Active, and obviously the Ciplaton and Centrum Active are generics of the Pharmaton. So the companies know how good the ginseng is, but not everybody can take it. But I'm just mentioning this. If you take your multivitamin, you can do it with your immune booster on a daily basis. Guys, time has always come for me. Well, it has come for me to say goodbye. I'm hoping that you're finding this podcast informative. I would like you to also just go on the link and subscribe so that you don't miss any episode, because there will be a few more in future. In fact, a colleague of mine also asked me on one of my next episodes to address the concern of all the what was the word you called it? Basically, alle liefstories, die myths, that's the word. Die Engelse mense het altyd so 'n fancy word. The myths surrounding COVID-19 and the treatment thereof, and whether or not you should still take your children for their normal vaccines, those kind of things. I'm gonna get that. I'm actually working on that episode, and I will post it, and you don't want to miss it. So please go on, like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes. But thank you for always listening. If you've got any questions, find me on most of the social media platforms as Uthman Solomons, and you can send me those questions. I will get the answers and obviously answer them to the group as a collective. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.